No, listen, um, Troy obviously has been unfortunate with a few injuries early in the season. Had a rib injury and then had that knee injury that ruled him out of the Toulon tournament and some subsequent internationals. But obviously his first two internationals, he scored at under 21 level, scored 3 goals, which is a terrific return. Helped us to get 6 points against Armenia and Sweden, and he played against Italy, of course, and I was quite, unfortunately, was sent off in the game. But I think, we were delighted to have him for the period that we have him, and he did terrifically well. And while we want to progress and try and qualify at under 21 level, it is ultimately about players progressing and becoming senior internationals. So I'm absolutely delighted for him that he's called up, and that's the way it goes.
And is there any kind of arrangement where he could come back, for example, if he plays the New Zealand friendly and then comes back for the next game, or do you think he's kind of on for good?
There is no arrangement. I think we have seen it even recently with Italy, where Pellegrini and Tonali were with the senior team. They came back to the 21s from the senior team. And then after our international, Tonali and Moise Kean were due to go to join up with the senior team for the second part of that international trip. So it is something that players are fluid in other countries. That's something that is not uncommon, and certainly so these things can happen. So that's not my decision, and whatever decision Mick makes, I completely respect that. Thomas O'Connor has obviously been from Waterford, has Wexford, sorry, was the important distinction. No, I think obviously he was just Southampton under 23s. I've seen him a number of times last year playing for Southampton under 23s. But he was a central midfielder growing up. Played in the left side of a back three for Southampton under 23s last year. So before going on loan to Gillingham in League One and playing left back for 12 games. So he has the difficulty has been, for him finding his position. Really, I think that's been that suits him, because ultimately he was a midfield player most of his life. But I've been to Gillingham twice over the last few weeks, and I was there again last Saturday, and although they got beaten 3-0 by Rotherham, and the opposite player, he was playing against Trevor Clark also in that game, and he played, both games I've gone to see them, they've lost 3-0, in fact, against Oxford and Rotherham. But I thought he has a really exquisite range of passing from left back. So he has a terrific left foot, and he has he's a very, very good passer of the ball. And the fact that he's played centre half for Southampton shows that he has a physical presence also. So he's still learning about that position. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Listen, we're delighted to bring Aidan. Aidan is obviously from Mullingar, unless I stand corrected there, John. I think is that right? That's okay, as long as you've understood that. I think Aidan is from Mullingar, and he's gone from St Pat's under 19s to Hearts, and so we watched him last year. He played in the Scottish Cup semi-final last year. For Hearts, but got injured and was out for a good period of time. So recently he's been featuring off the bench a little bit for Hearts, and in some games, so that's where he has been. So he's someone that we've added to the squad. Jack Clark has been capped at under 18 level under Jim Crawford, and a couple of internationals under 19 as well. He's been out of the picture for a long time for Ireland, but he's had a very good season for Aston Villa under 23s, and obviously with the absence of one or two midfielders, we've decided to call Jack in. He's quite a left-footed player. We don't have a left-footed central midfield player, and he carries the ball really well, and he's got good vision and a good way to pass, and we're pleased to have him in the squad. Well, I think Queeveen's played played in the 10 internationals that we've had this season, under 21 internationals, which has been a great fill-up for him, because it was at a time when he wasn't getting much match time, a lot of training time, and he's been in all the great stadiums. But I think for him to be playing matches, 10 under 21 international matches, he's just been so consistent, and we're delighted to have him. And his composure and his experience will be important in Armenia, very important in Armenia.
Stephen, the Sweden manager Roland Nielsen lost a couple of players like yourself to the senior setup. One being Dan Kulusevski, who was a bit of a thorn in your side, I suppose, in the away game. How big of a loss would he be for Sweden, you think?
For Sweden, I'm not sure. They have a very strong squad, but from my point of view, we're really focusing on Armenia first, and I think it's because the team that beat Sweden, we've 6 players missing from that team that played that night. Jason Malumbi and Leo Connor obviously are suspended, and Troy Parrott and Aaron Connolly have progressed to the senior team, which is a good sign. And obviously Darrell Lee and Jonathan Afalabi are injured, so there'll be a lot of changes. I think Armenia had a good win against Luxembourg, 2-0, and Italy it was only 1-0 against Italy. Very tight game. Only the Italians won 1-0. So Armenia away is a different proposition, and obviously we've to get 3 flights to fly there. We go London, Kiev, Yerevan. So it's and then so it's a busy window for us. It's a busy window for us. In the negotiation, when you go into the room in the negotiation in UEFA to plan your fixtures, some things you get, it's an extraordinary sort of event, in fact, and some things you negotiate and they happen for you, and we got some fixtures that in the way that we would have wanted. This was not the way we would have wanted to get Armenia away, followed by Sweden, with such distances involved, and getting off 3 flights to play the second match. I think, but that's the way it goes. You can't get everything you want, and that's the nature of these things. And I think so. We've got to be very focused going to Armenia, and try and prepare as well as we can, because a lot of players are playing on Saturday, and some on Sunday, and certainly, and we're flying on Monday, so it'll be it won't be much time to prepare. Once we get over there, it's a Thursday game, so obviously you can't train on Monday because you're traveling with 10 hours, and you've got to prepare then on the Tuesday and Wednesday for the game Thursday. I think it's a big challenge for us, and we'd like to get a positive result if we could in Armenia, which is the firm focus.
Added to that as well, the League of Ireland players, obviously it's the end of the season. Naturally for a player physically, I suppose the body kind of sees up at the end of the season. How do you keep those players fit and in good condition going into these games?
Yeah, that is a problem for us, because it's 3 weeks between the final league game and the game in Armenia. So I think that is an issue, and so subsequently we've organised sessions this week with just some of the home base players yesterday and tomorrow, just tomorrow morning as well, just to just to keep players sharp, ahead of next week.
You did really have Armenia pen back for most of that game at Tallaght Stadium, and you probably should have won the game by a few goals more. But as you say, you're missing so many players now. What would be a good result out of this Armenia game? Would you be even happy with a point coming away from there?
If you want me to answer the question honestly, no, I wouldn't really. And I think it's our objective is that we have to try and win the game. And I think, but that is not an easy task. That's a very tough task. Italy had a tough game over there, and just had a narrow victory. And they had a good win against Luxembourg. So obviously they've had two good performances in the last window. So what we'll have to do is, we'll have to put in a good performance. Other players obviously some players will make their international debut in Armenia, and it's we need a big performance, and to try and get the crucial victory.
Is Jason Mullenby possibly even a bigger loss than any of the other players you've lost, just because it does seem that the way your team plays, everything goes through Jason? And how do you replace him even then for the next game?
Listen, Jason's been terrific. He's really played well. I think it's he's been really, really exceptional. Very dynamic player, and he's captained the team brilliantly, must be said, over the 10 games. But we're delighted. Some of the players, one or two players, haven't had. Some of the players they've played, the likes of Jason Knight, who is still only 18, but he come on in the recent game against Italy, and he went to Toulon with us, of course, and played in Toulon. So Jason Knight coming into the squad is a terrific boost for us as well, and so I think we've good players in that department. We're still very young with Conor Coventry and Jason Knight, 18 and 19, but certainly not lacking in quality or work ethic. Terrific attitude to the game. Jason Knight has terrific attitude to the game. He's obviously already made his debut at Derby County, and he can be an important player for us in this window for sure.
I can just ask you a bit more about the Italy game as well, Stephen. There was probably a sense looking at that game that maybe the referee didn't give you what you wanted out of the match, but as well the Italians seemed a little bit more streetwise. I know you don't want your players going out and being cynical, but could they learn a lot from that game? They perhaps were maybe a little bit naive with regards to winning free kicks and maybe wasting a bit of time when it's required. I've no real complaints over that game. I thought the players were really exceptional in that game, and to watch the game, and obviously we had to review it this week, and the players, the technical level they reached in that match was of a very, very high standard, and some really brilliant play in that game. Now I'm more concerned about the refereeing in Iceland, which was a match that we could have easily won, and that was a setback for us. Leo Connor is suspended for this game. The ball hit his back, didn't even hit his arm, and he got a yellow card and subsequently a red card and a penalty given against him. So that was that was clearly wrong, and that decision was clearly wrong. It was clearly wrong to look at it from the sideline when you review it in the video, confirmed everything. So I was more concerned about that, because that was a game that we certainly didn't deserve to lose, and that was the most unusual game. So that is a setback for us, and obviously it's a big challenge. There's a lot of new players coming into the squad going to Armenia, so it's a big challenge for us now going to Armenia to try and get a positive result, because we're in a great position in the group, still a very strong position, and so a big win in Armenia would be very welcome.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot. We've spoken on the phone, about that situation, and then we meet. We had a meeting with all the international managers here on Monday. We meet every month to, all of the international managers we meet to discuss, to present on our games over the month and so forth. That's what we do regularly. So, yeah, I'm well aware. It's something that is possible. Anything is possible. So it's not for me to comment on how that goes for Troy. But I certainly wish Troy all the best. His attitude has been brilliant for us, and he scored some really, really good goals. So, we certainly wish him well.